feels roomy. Okay, so I think we're all in the house. Let's come down for some Wednesday night yin. Unless you're doing this on catch up. And I feel like starting in child's pose tonight. So toes together, knees wide, and if you need to put pillows under your bum to sort of melt down, you can. And we're just going to start by doing some gentle box breathing while we're down here. So rest your forehead on the mat. I like to sometimes press one hand on top of the other and just check in with myself and how I'm feeling. And we're going to start by taking a breath in for a count of 3 or 4. Gently hold that breath in for a count of 3 or 4. And you release that breath really gently, just melting down. And try and hold the exhalation for 3 or 4 seconds. So breath comes in. Holding the breath gently, not forcing. Exhaling to let go. And then try and hold on the exhale. Just work at your own pace. When you finish your last cycle, just start to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Maybe you can imagine those waves just literally tickling your feet as the water comes out towards you away from the ocean. And as you exhale, you just sink deeper and deeper into the sand. Breathing that sun into your shoulder blades and just allow it to kiss every part of your body. And as you exhale, give yourself permission just to let go of any stress, worry, anxiety that you may be carrying from today, this week. And then when you're ready, just gently, gently coming up onto your hands and knees. We're going to start, because we opened these up in the class before, so we're going to start with lizard pose, and we're going to bring the left knee forwards. And we're going to take the right knee back, and if you need to put a pillow down under your knee, you can. We're going to go quite deep into this today and open up into hips and heart. So again, if your legs are tight, you might want to turn the foot out or take it off. Try and drop the chin down, and we're just going to try and surrender here. Breathing space into the belly. And as you're exhaling, I want you to visualize or imagine any energy, any heaviness that you're carrying on your shoulders, just literally washing off you, down your arms, out through the palms, and allow it to be transmuted back by the earth. And as you inhale, you feel the energy coming up from the earth. Protection, grounding, support. Allow that to come all the way up to the shoulders. And allow it to wash all the way down your spine. deep. If you find you can go deeper, you might want to bring your right elbow down, but please don't force this if this is too intense. Just breathing in. Try and release what does not serve. And as we know, the hips are where we store a lot of unresolved emotions or unreleased emotions. And when these get stuck, our bodyguard starts to step in and wrap anger and frustration around us. It's an old protective defense mechanism. If you're feeling any frustration, any annoyance, perhaps even at not being able to go deeper or feeling like you want to get out of the pose, try and breathe into it and relax. Try and let it all just wash away like the ocean. Just cleanse and let go. Feel your sensation starting to fade, that's when you can play a little bit more. But you know your body. Yin is where we build trust back in ourselves. A lot of us are recovering from past injuries, past stress that we've put on the body. The more you learn to edge and open with softness and awareness, the more you learn to trust yourself again. And in turn, that trust will mirror into the outside world. Breathe in deep. Go gently each time. Now here's the fun bit, trying to get out. So if you're down, take your time coming up. You have to rebound, so gently coming back onto the knees. Maybe take a child's pose. Thighs can be together or thighs can be wide. Just sit back and breathe. And come back to that box breathing. We inhale, we hold, we let go, we hold. So just work at your own pace. Take one more cycle here on your favorite beach. You ready for the other side? So, change your sides, and if it is uncomfortable, put a pillow under your knee. You can put blocks under your hands. You can bring the floor to you. You can put pillows under your hand. Right legs forwards. Notice which hip feels significantly different to the other. And just breathing into it. So nice long slow breaths in. Chin can tuck in. Elbows are soft. Toes can be turned out. Foot can be wider. Shouldn't be too much pressure in the wrists, so try and spread the weight into the fingertips as well as the heel of the hand. If it feels accessible, maybe you go down on the elbow, maybe you stay up, maybe you don't move for a while. Remember, this is your journey. Everything happens in its own timing. without force. Just a little bit of consistency and trust in yourself that you can show up for yourself. And I want to do this for you and not to satisfy anybody else. So too many times when we're growing up, we're doing things to please others, and this will really show in the hips as well. The water element in us represents codependency. That need to have others around us to feel complete. And then that starts to mirror in us as we get older, and that need to sort of have that surrounding, that comfort. And it's knowing when there's a difference, knowing when you're doing this because you feel full, as opposed to needing others to make you feel full. Breathe in that awareness at the hips. And allow yourself to unite with yourself tonight. Bridge the gap between trust and the mind. Knowing that you are trusting from what guides you from within, from your heart, as opposed to what we've learnt. And it's never been our fault. Breathe in deeper if you want to increase the stretch. You don't have to push. You can manipulate things by breath. You can play by using breath. You can lift your energy, you can slow your energy down. You can release pain. Trust the breath to guide you where the pain sits and where you can increase the stretch to build that bond. Taking a couple more deep breaths. Very slowly we come out. We take our time. Again, build that trust that you're going to move with slowness. We've stretched. We want to allow them to creep back in. And again, come down. Taking a child's pose. Knees can be wide. Hands can be under your forehead if you like. Breathe in and allow the upper back and the shoulders to open. Taking 2 more breaths here. Okay, we're going to go into a bit of a yang yin pose. So tuck in the toes, don't hate me. So get a bit of a toe stretch. So first of all, you could pull your toes on the mat if you like. We can double it up, aren't you lucky? Okay, hands come up onto your hips. Going to come into camel pose. We're just going to take like 6 breaths, so knees might need to be wider. If you need to slip pillows under your knees, you can. So you're going to push the hips forwards, arching back, and just support the lower back, and just breathe. And you're going to feel a stretch coming up from your hips. You might not go deep, just breathe. Squeeze your butt cheeks gently. If you want to put both your hands on your heels, you can. Roll the shoulders back. Just breathe in and let go. Try and breathe at the stomach to open and stretch. As you exhale, you're letting go. We're opening to give our love. When our shoulders are rounded forwards, it's a sign of all the heartache and break and grief that we have locked and hidden from ourselves to not be shown. I want you to feel it tonight and own it. Be proud of the scars. It's gotten you to where you're at today. Really slowly. Woo. We're coming back. And we're rebounding back in child's pose because that was a deep back bend. So just take a couple of breaths and allow yourself just to wash any stress. Give it back to the earth and let her take that energy to be transmuted. I've said this many times, but we have a soul contract with Mother Earth. We exchange. What we no longer wish to hold, she will take and transmute for her energy to be utilized. Taking one more deep breath here. Staying with that heart channel. Coming onto your bellies. Bend your left elbow 90 degrees, elbow in line with shoulder. Hand flat on the floor. So look at your left elbow. I want your elbow and shoulder in alignment. Now some of you are going to be really tight here, so it's going to be a really tiny movement, so don't get frustrated. You're going to turn your head to look at the right. You're going to put your right fingertips on the floor and ping your right elbow up to the sky. Bend your right knee, and you might even just rock a tiny bit. So you want to feel a stretch in the left chest. Some of you will be able to bring the foot back. Some of you will have the foot on top of the other leg. Some of your toes will be on the floor, but some of the feet won't touch the floor right now. You can put a pillow under your head and just breathe. And just try and surrender into this stretch. It's not a force. You can bend your left knee if you like and creep it up in line with your hip. And just do what works for you and find a sensation that works into the left elbow, the left armpit, the heart. And I want you to soften your gaze and allow yourself to feel whatever's coming up. Like I said, when we've gone through emotional hurt, we start to keep locking layers over. It kind of reminds me, if you ever used to watch Friends and Joey would put on like all of Chandler's clothes, layer on layer on layer and layer and layer. And what we're doing is just slowly taking layers off just to reveal what's underneath. But it takes time for that to then get a new lease of strength underneath it. Imagine having like a big piece of scar tissue over a piece of your hand, and then you take that away, then that's going to be a bit raw. We allow that to open, and then we allow that piece to get stronger again. And it can be painful when we go deep. But when that new piece strengthens up, the bits that we've took off, the load that we have lightened, it's an amazing feeling. So where perhaps are you ready to shed a layer tonight? Where could you feel it and bring it up to let it go? And perhaps it's something about the future, because that's what most of us seem to focus on at the moment. Looking back at our past and what we have not achieved, and then worrying about where we're going or what we're doing. And we just let it go and enjoy the moment. Take 2 more breaths here. And when you're ready, just rebound for a moment by sliding the leg over and maybe resting your head on the mat. Keep the left arm out for a moment if that feels okay, or you can bring it in, but just breathe. And you exhale, just again let anything go from the heart space and allow it to be absorbed by the earth. And notice any energy in that left arm, that left shoulder. That's all space that you have created. The more we peel back the layers, the more room we can create in our bodies, our minds, our hearts to welcome in new space for new beginnings, new chapters, new experiences, and being able to enjoy the new without looking back in the past all the time for it to dictate the story. When you're ready, we're going to switch sides. So look at the right arm first to make sure you've got it into the correct position. Elbow in line with shoulder, elbow in line with wrist, right palm on the floor, head then flicks to the other side. Ugh. Left elbow up, fingertips on the mat like the hand from the Addams Family. Bend your left knee and just peeling and just feeling, and this side for me opens up way more than the other. So. And you can creep your right knee up if you want. Right arm up a little bit higher if you need to go deeper. If you need to go deep, you can always take your left arm up and wrap it behind. This side for me opens up a heck of a lot different to my left. So just breathe, and again, don't force. If it feels too much, come out a little bit. Close the eyes and just allow yourself to go in. And with the full moon's going to be coming up in Scorpio, it's all about transformation. Scorpio is here to remind us of the dark times that you have shifted through. The transformation that is inside of you from who you once were to who you are now. Too little times do we forget to celebrate what we have shifted. Taurus will remind us of the materialistic side of things, like, oh, I haven't achieved this and I haven't got that, and I had this but I lost that. So what? Scorpio is here to remind you of your journey, of who you are and what has changed and transmuted and transpired from within. Like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Yes, we may have more scars, and yes, we have gone through a lot. But can you hold your head high and lead from your heart with integrity and show yourself, I pushed through. I allowed myself to be vulnerable. I allowed myself to receive help. Allow yourself to receive now. Allow yourself to receive guidance and support, even from the earth that we're laying on right now. And Taurus is to remind us as well that we are in abundance. Nature, even just being able to lay on the ground and feel safe. When we change our perception of what we may want to what we actually have, it's powerful. And yes, we may not be where we want to be just yet. But you know in your heart that you are taking the steps to get there. And just like Yin Yoga, it takes time to achieve a change. Yin teaches us discipline and consistency to show up. And it's micro changes and micro steps, that 1%. That is what will accumulate over time, and that is what will make the shift. Take a deep breath in, and then just let it go. We come back slowly but surely. And we're just going to lay on our tummy to finish. And you can make a pillow for your head if you like. And I want you to take yourself somewhere new that you haven't been yet. Somewhere you would like to explore. And it doesn't always have to be in a far away country. Sometimes it's somewhere near. Perhaps it's something that you would like to even explore within you. What brings out that curiosity, whether it's seeing somewhere or doing something or trying something. As you breathe in, allow yourself to receive the energy from the earth to restore, rebalance, and reharmonize. As you exhale, allow yourself to give back some love to the earth for always providing for us. Always bringing the sun up every day. An opportunity for a fresh cycle every single day. You can stay on the floor. If you're happy staying here, you stay right here. If not, I have to close the practice. So very slowly coming up to a seated or kneeling position. But if not, just stay down there and enjoy it if you're having a good old time. And if you're closing, or even if you're staying on the floor, just bringing the hands maybe to your heart or onto your heart, or just laying there and just being grateful. Hands come in, chin tucks in if you're seated. And I want you to tell yourself how much you love and respect yourself right now. Tell yourself how strong you are, how resilient you are. And let yourself know it's okay to be vulnerable, and it's okay to be seen, and it's okay to be heard. You are worthy, you are enough, and you are loved. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, namaste, my lovelies. If anything comes up and you need to talk about it, you know where I am. If not, I will see you tomorrow. Enjoy the sleep, and I will see you soon. Well done.